The hum of the airplane was supposed to be comforting, but for one boy it became a stage for humiliation. A young black child sat quietly, clutching his favorite book, while the flight attendant's cold stare bore into him. When meal service began, every passenger around him received food, except him. His small hands tightened, his stomach growled, and yet he was ignored. Passengers shifted uncomfortably, sensing something wasn't right. What they didn't know was that this boy wasn't just any passenger. His father was watching. Watch until the end. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. 8-year-old Marcus was a bright and curious child with a love for science and storytelling. His yellow hoodie and his Astro Boy comic were his comfort on long trips, while his father, Daniel, often traveled for work. Daniel, dressed in his usual sharp suit, was a man of few words but endless pride in his son. For Marcus, airplane journeys were adventures, each flight an opportunity to look out at the clouds and dream of possibilities. That day, he boarded with excitement, unaware that the trip would reveal the uglier side of the world. People smiled at Daniel, assuming he was just another businessman. They glanced at Marcus, some warm, some indifferent. It seemed ordinary, nothing unusual, but within the calm rhythm of the flight, a subtle act of cruelty was about to unfold, one that would test a father's patience and expose the profound injustice still present in unexpected places. The flight attendant began meal service, her polished smile greeting rows of passengers. Trays of food clinked as she leaned forward, offering choices. Marcus watched eagerly. He loved the little trays with their mystery snacks and desserts. The row ahead of him received meals, and so did the passengers behind. When she reached his seat, her smile faltered. She glanced at Marcus, then at Daniel, and without a word, skipped him. Daniel assumed it was a mistake, but as she returned with more trays, Marcus was missing again. The boy's excitement turned to confusion. His stomach growled. His eyes fell to his book, and he pretended not to notice. Daniel's jaw tightened, but he stayed calm, watching. Around them, passengers shifted, some whispering, some pretending not to see the deliberate omission. Marcus tugged at his sleeve softly, whispering, "Dad, did she forget me?" But Daniel had seen this before, the subtle, sharp edge of prejudice hidden behind politeness. The flight attendant smiled at the white children nearby, crouched down to check on them, and even offered extra snacks. But Marcus, she avoided his eyes. The injustice weighed on Daniel's chest, but he waited, observing. He wanted to see how far it would go. The tension grew heavier with every minute, every tray, every glance. It wasn't just about food. It was about the silent message that his son was less deserving, less worthy of kindness, less human in her eyes, and that silence cut deeper than words. When the flight attendant passed their row a final time, Daniel spoke firmly, asking why his son had been denied. Her expression hardened. She claimed she hadn't noticed, but her dismissive tone told another story. Marcus sat quietly, tears brimming, trying to hide his hunger and embarrassment. The cabin grew tense, passengers now fully aware of what was happening. Phones lifted, recording. Eyes darted from Daniel to the attendant. Daniel rose, his voice calm but heavy with authority. "You will regret treating my son this way." The flight attendant smirked, unaware of who she had just humiliated. The atmosphere thickened with silence. In that moment, power shifted. Daniel was not only Marcus's father, he was also the CEO of the very airline where she worked. And now, the truth was about to hit her harder than turbulence. When the plane landed, Daniel wasted no time. He requested that the captain and airline supervisors meet him at the gate. Calmly, he explained the humiliation his son endured, presenting witness accounts and recordings from passengers. The flight attendant's arrogance quickly crumbled as she realized who Daniel was. the airline's CEO. Her excuses fell apart under the weight of truth. Right there, she was relieved of her duties and escorted off, her disbelief etched on her face. But for Daniel, the victory wasn't about firing her. It was about protecting his son from a world too often cruel without reason. Marcus learned that day that silence in the face of injustice is dangerous, and viewers must ask themselves, how many children suffer in silence when no one is watching? Where are you watching from today? Take care.